When the sky went dark, it was noon in New York when the sunlight began to fade. At first, people thought it was a storm. Dark clouds gathered fast, swallowing the blue sky, but soon the air felt heavier, colder, birds stopped singing, and the city fell into an uneasy silence. Then came the shadow. It stretched across the sky like a black curtain, covering the earth from horizon to horizon. People looked up and froze. It was not clouds, it was something. A shape so massive it blocked the sun completely. High above the atmosphere, a giant figure floated in space. His armor glimmered with strange purple and silver light, a helmet with two great horns crowned his head. His eyes burned with cosmic fire, and his voice rolled across the planet like thunder. "This world will feed me." The ground trembled. Oceans churned as if the earth itself feared him. Every nation's communication channels lit up with panic. The name echoed in fear across languages. Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds, far above, orbiting the planet. Superman was already moving. He had been monitoring strange energy readings from deep space when the light dimmed. Now he saw the truth, and his eyes narrowed. Without hesitation, he rocketed toward the giant. The atmosphere burned red around him as he broke through the clouds. On the other side of the planet, far from the peaceful valleys of New Mexico, Bruce Banner stood in a research facility. He had seen the same sky go black, the same deep vibration in the ground. Banner closed his eyes. He knew this was not a battle for men in lab coats. His hands clenched, muscles swelled, and in seconds, the Hulk roared to life. He leaped, smashing through concrete and metal, covering miles in a single bound. While cities fell into chaos, Galactus raised his hands. Streams of glowing energy burst from his palms, striking toward the Earth's crust. The blasts were not random. They were aimed at the planet's core. The ground cracked in long, jagged lines. Volcanoes roared to life, and tidal waves began to rise. Superman's voice boomed through the comms. "All available heroes, evacuate civilians and protect the cities. I'll slow him down." But even as he said it, he knew Galactus was beyond anything Earth had faced before. From the edge of the city, Hulk landed hard, the pavement shattering under his feet. He looked up at the sky, saw the enormous figure, and bared his teeth. "Big guy. Let's see if you can take a punch," he growled. A sonic boom split the air as Superman struck first. He hit Galactus in the chest like a missile, the impact ringing like a giant bell. Galactus barely moved, turning his gaze to the tiny figure before him. "You are strong," the cosmic being said, "but you are nothing to me." Hulk didn't wait. With a roar, he leaped high, smashing into Galactus's knee with enough force to shake the clouds. The giant's leg buckled slightly, and for the first time, his expression changed, not fear, but mild surprise. Down below, people stared in awe and terror. Two of the strongest beings on Earth were attacking the monster in the sky. But Galactus was not here to fight. He was here to feed. And as the battle began, the dark clouds above swirled faster, drawing the light and warmth from the world. Superman shot a quick glance at Hulk between strikes. "We need to keep him away from the planet's core," he said. Hulk cracked his knuckles. "Then let's hit him harder." They didn't know if they could stop Galactus. They didn't know if anyone could. But in the shadow of the Devourer of Worlds, there was no time for doubt, only action. Asterisk the clash of titans. Galactus did not move quickly. He didn't need to. Every gesture he made shook the air and sent shockwaves rippling through the clouds. When he spoke, his voice rolled like distant thunder. "You cannot stop the hunger of the eternal." Superman darted upward, faster than the eye could follow. He slammed into Galactus's chest again, forcing him a few meters back in space. But the giant barely reacted. The impact felt to him like a raindrop against a mountain. Hulk landed on a nearby skyscraper roof, using it as a springboard. With a roar, he hurled himself toward Galactus's arm. His fists pounded the armor again and again, each blow cracking the air like a cannon. The giant finally swatted at him with one massive hand. Hulk was sent flying through the sky, crashing into the side of a mountain miles away. But the Green Titan wasn't down for long. He tore himself out of the rubble and leapt again. Higher and further than before. I'm not done yet. Hulk roared. Galactus raised one hand toward the earth. Cosmic energy began to gather, bright, swirling, and violent. Superman's eyes widened. He's trying to strip the planet's atmosphere, he said over the combs. He dove in, unleashing. A flurry of punches so fast they blurred into one continuous strike. The giant's head tilted back slightly under the assault. But the distraction only lasted a moment. With a wave of his other hand, Galactus summoned something from the darkness of space. They came like a swarm, massive armored drones, each the size of a fighter jet. Their bodies glowed with the same energy as their master. The first wave streaked toward Earth. Superman veered off to intercept them, heat vision slicing through the void. Hulk landed on one drone mid-flight, ripping it apart with his bare hands. Metal shards and sparks scattered through the atmosphere. But there were too many. Every drone destroyed seemed to be replaced by two more. Galactus's voice echoed in their minds. Your resistance is admirable, but pointless. Superman blasted another drone apart and shouted to Hulk. He's drawing energy from somewhere. It's keeping him at full strength. Hulk growled, smashing a drone into the side of another. Then we cut him off, he said. His eyes locked on something glimmering in the far distance. A massive construct in orbit. It was Galactus's world ship. Even from here, they could see its vast shape, big enough to dwarf cities. Strange spires glowed along its surface, each one pulsing in time with the energy flowing into Galactus's body. Hulk's plan was simple. You hold him here, he told Superman. I'll smash his toy. Before Superman could argue, Hulk leapt, higher than ever before. Each bound took him further into the upper atmosphere, until the curve of the earth began to fade. Galactus noticed. He extended a hand, trying to pull Hulk back with raw gravitational force, but Superman slammed into his wrists, breaking his concentration. You're fighting me, Superman said, his voice calm but sharp. The two titans, one from Krypton, one from Earth, attacked in perfect rhythm. Every punch and strike was timed to keep Galactus's attention fixed on them. Hulk disappeared into the black of space, heading straight for the world ship. Down on Earth, the battle raged in the skies. Superman fought with the speed of light, weaving between drone fire and Galactus's sweeping attacks. Each blow he landed was backed with every ounce of strength he had. But even so, Galactus still advanced slowly toward the planet. His hunger was endless in the darkness above. Hulk neared the colossal world ship. Up close, it was even more terrifying. A city in space, every tower humming with deadly energy. He bared his teeth, clenched his fists. Let's see if you scream, Hulk said to no one, with one earth shaking. Punch, he tore into the ship's surface. The first explosion lit up the void, and for the first time, Galactus turned his head. The last strike, the first explosion from the world ship, lit up the black of space like a second sun. Hulk tore deeper into its surface, ripping through towers and glowing conduits. Each punch shook the massive structure, sending tremors down. To Galactus himself, Galactus froze mid-swing, his eyes narrowing. You dare. His voice rumbled, carrying across the void. He raised one colossal hand toward the ship, trying to shield it with a shimmering wall of energy. But Hulk was already inside. He smashed through a chamber the size of a stadium filled with rotating machines and swirling spheres of raw cosmic power. The heat and light would have burned any other being to dust. But Hulk only grew angrier. With a roar that shook the hull, he tore into the largest energy core. It cracked like glass under his fists, releasing a blast of golden light that consumed the chamber. Down near Earth's edge, Superman felt the shift instantly. Galactus staggered, his movements slowing as if a great weight had fallen on him. The drones faltered in their attack, drifting aimlessly without their master's full control. But the cosmic giant's voice rose again, this time filled with fury. If I cannot feed, I will destroy. Energy gathered between his hands, brighter, hotter, and more dangerous than anything before. It was a sphere of pure destruction aimed straight at Earth. Even weakened, the power of it could burn continents and boil oceans. In seconds, Superman knew there was no time to dodge. He pushed forward, placing himself directly in the path of the attack. If it hit him, it might kill him, but if it passed, Earth would not survive. The blast erupted from Galactus's hands. A beam of white gold light tearing through the void. It slammed into Superman, driving him back toward the planet. The force was like a star trying to crush him, every muscle screaming under the pressure, but he held on, digging deeper into every ounce of strength he had left. High above, Hulk emerged from the collapsing world ship, his body glowing faintly from the energy that had tried to destroy him. He saw Superman locked against the beam, and Galactus pouring every drop of power he still had into it. Hulk didn't think. He launched himself from the wreckage, using the debris as stepping stones. With each leap, he built more speed, more force, until he was a green comet streaking toward Galactus. The giant barely had time to turn before Hulk struck. The impact was like a meteor colliding with the planet. Galactus's head snapped back. His grip on the beam faltered. Superman pushed forward, with a final roar, shoving the energy sphere upward. It streaked into empty space and detonated in a silent burst of light. Galactus stumbled backward, his armor cracked, the glow in his eyes fading. The wounds from Hulk's attack and the loss of his world ship had taken their toll. He glared at the two heroes, his voice low but still thunderous. This is not the end. I will return. Superman floated closer, his cape drifting in the void. Then we'll be here, he said simply, with one last look at the planet below. Galactus turned and drifted away into the endless darkness. His massive form shrank until it was nothing more than a shadow among the stars. The skies over Earth began to clear. Sunlight returned, warming the ground as people emerged from shelters and looked upward. They had no idea how close they had come to losing everything. On the edge of the atmosphere, Superman and Hulk floated. Side by side, Hulk gave a small grunt. Not bad for a team-up. Superman allowed himself a faint smile. You hit harder than anyone I've ever met, Hulk smirked. And you take a hit better than anyone I've ever seen. The two shared a brief nod, no speeches, no promises. Just the quiet understanding of warriors who had stood together against the impossible. Far below, the world turned peacefully again, but somewhere out there, in the dark, the shadow of Galactus still lingered, and when he returned, Earth would be ready.